back your homes or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
The Long Night occurred thousands of years ago, only to end when the Night's Watch and Azor Ahai drove the White Walkers far into the north and then raising a wall containing magic to keep the dead from traveling south. In other words, Westeros placed a buffer in between themselves and the Night King. Over the ages, humans living in Westeros let go of the idea that there was even a threat of the dead army harming them. Most people who lived in the south actually believed the White Walkers didn't exist, and the stories passed on were fantasy and greatly embellished. Fast forward to the current timeline, and we know the tales of the old weren't lying. Now, history is repeating itself. The Red Priests believe a reincarnated Azor Ahai has returned to the world, and the Night King has broken through the wall with an army of at least 100,000 undead whites. So this had me thinking, even if the living are able to defend their land and take on the dead army, who's to say the White Walkers won't just return in the future as they did in the past? At one point in the series, we get to view the Night King creating a White Walker from a baby taken from Craster's keep. In that scene, the audience witnesses what looks like an ice castle of sorts, a castle for the Night King. Now, to understand where this castle might be, we have to look at an area known on the map as the Lands of Always Winter. Why do people call it the Lands of Always Winter? Well, it is because the Night King has a clear connection and control over winter. For example, as the dead army moves, the cold moves with it. This helps explain why water freezes over when the Night King is near. But anyway, here's an idea that had me wondering if the dead is successful and forces the living to flee elsewhere, can there be another way to stop the Night King? Since the dead are now south of the wall, the humans may aim to travel north, but not by heading directly into the dead army. If we look at where Bear Island is, we can see a straight path leading to the frozen shore. For anyone who may be unfamiliar with the frozen shore, it is a location just north of the Mormont's home, and it sits very close to the most northern part of what Maesters have mapped as Westeros. Remember, the known world is just that, what is known. There's much more to the world our favorite characters live in than even they know. For example, Sothorios, a landmass south of Westeros and Essos, is said to be bigger than the entirety of Essos. Now that's a lot of unmapped territory, and if the wall kept humans safe for the better part of 8,000 years, then why couldn't something similar act as a buffer for the next few millennia? Sure, humans could try their luck by sailing to Essos and see how long it takes for the Night King to make his way over. But what if Bran Stark is taken to Bear Island, sails north to the frozen shore, and helps rebuild the broken wall, reinforcing it with new magic that he possesses as the Three-Eyed Raven, and keeps the dead from returning to their longtime home? I know it may seem a bit much for all of this to go down before the end of the series, but I would argue it is an option. Even though the frozen shore and everything north of it is harsh land to live on, but wildlings have been doing it forever. And without the Night King there to make the cold even more unbearable, the remaining humans could adapt to the living conditions. Plus, if the Castle of the Dead is investigated, the living might learn more about their enemy. Anyway, this is an idea that I had after looking back at the map of the known world. So much is undiscovered, and that means new discoveries could aid the living in the Great War. I would love to hear your thoughts on the Lands of Always Winter, as well as the location that looks like a castle for the Night King. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, have a great day, take care, and I will see you soon.
Cannot give you back your homes.
But perhaps I can